Gypsy-Rose is the poor victim, and yet she wants to put out things like this. Why is this okay? Why is this acceptable? But the second Ryan opens his mouth, she becomes the victim. He needs to stop talking, but yet she's gonna sit there and still be the victim of everything. She doesn't care how this affects somebody else. Her actions are only her own. She couldn't care any less how her actions affect other people.
How the hell is this girl? How in the hell are you gonna do this man like that? You already drug him every chance you can, cheated on him, made him look like a complete fool. He's been nothing but respectful to you, and now you're gonna go and tell the whole freaking world that the D won't fire?
All right, loves, grab your tea because Gypsy-Rose is back in the headlines. And this time, she's leaving no stone unturned or bridges unburned. In an eyebrow-raising interview with People magazine, Gypsy decided to air out her private life with her ex-husband Ryan. And let me tell you, it's messy. We're talking about bedroom drama, revenge narratives, and jaw-dropping confessions that have everyone talking. Let's dive into the chaos, shall we? So here's the setup. Gypsy and Ryan are officially divorced, but instead of moving on with grace, Gypsy has taken it upon herself to publicly drag Ryan through the mud. In her latest sit-down with People, she didn't just hint at her dissatisfaction with their marriage, she straight up shamed Ryan for what she described as a miserable bedroom experience. Yes, you heard that right. She took their intimate life, once praised in the same publication, and flipped the narrative to paint him as the problem. And for what? Clout? Closure? A sprinkle of revenge? The audacity is real.
You know,
I mean,
we're married.
What's hard for me is watching, the negative comments towards him. I can handle negative comments towards me because I don't care. But when it's about somebody that I love, I want to clap back. And that was my, clap back a little bit. I'm going to come to his defense. He's my man. That's what wives do.
Earlier this year, Gypsy had nothing but glowing things to say about Ryan, calling their chemistry fire. Fast forward to now, and she's flipping the script, claiming their intimacy was a disaster.
What's the matter, Gypsy? The D ain't fire anymore? And here we go. Just like always, Gypsy-Rose is the poor victim. And yet, she wants to put out things like this. Why is this okay? Why is this acceptable? But the second Ryan opens his mouth, she becomes the victim. He needs to stop talking. But yet, she's gonna sit there and still be the victim of everything. She doesn't care how this affects somebody else. Her actions are only her own. She couldn't care any less how her actions affect other people. And this article right here proves that point. Why is this okay to say to that man who did nothing but care about her? Who did nothing but try to be there for her, and she thought this was okay, and then she wants to again run around and be the poor little victim. Do better, Gypsy-Rose. Still collecting victims to this day. Just saying, there's that.
Why, Gypsy? Why now? The timing couldn't be more suspicious, especially as Ryan appears to be moving on with his life. Is this about settling scores? Fans think so, and honestly, it's hard to disagree. Gypsy didn't stop at throwing Ryan under the bus. She went on to share some deeply personal and frankly uncomfortable details about her past, including alleged sexual trauma and experiences in prison.
Why would you be so vindictive? Tell me how this girl is not still collecting victims to this day. Why would you put that after everything Gypsy-Rose did to Ryan? Why? Why would she put him through that and do that and try and humiliate him when he has been nothing but so good to her? Because he could have gotten on social media and trashed her, and he never did. Why would she think it was okay to do that? She is an animal, a disgusting animal in my opinion. You're trying to be more private, but I'm going to go into the tabloids and talk about my sex life. Just like you bragged about your freaking affair, your adulterous affair. This girl is a hot mess and would do anything anything for publicity, anything for people to look at her. Let me tell you something. If she gets off the internet and stops posting on social media, I wouldn't be surprised to see the girl twirling naked on a freaking pole. I'm just saying, anything to shout, look at me. Look at me. She's disgusting. Absolutely can't stand that she did this to Ryan. And you know what? Ryan, I really hope he gets the balls to clap back at her, because now she freaking deserves it. I'm just saying, there's that guy.
While she claimed these factors might have affected her connection with Ryan, she made it crystal clear that her current partner, Ken, has reignited the spark she never felt in her marriage. In her words, when Ken came into the picture again, there was 7 years of built-up tension, and it was amazing. Okay, Gypsy, we get it. You've moved on. But did the world really need to know this much? And then there's the baby bombshell. Gypsy is now in her 3rd trimester with Ken's child, gushing about their magical journey together, even as she struggles with late pregnancy challenges. She's over the moon about transitioning to a more private life once her parole ends next year.
Being selfish and chasing your heart should never come at the cost and expense of other people. There's a proper way to handle things and do things, and how she did them is exactly how her mother and her father, Dee Dee and Rod, brought her into the world. No different. In fact, her situation is worse, because now she's a convicted murderer who's on parole, who attempted to take a life twice before, bringing a child into the world. The only reason why she's even having this baby with Ken is because he denied her and left her and was with somebody else for over 5 years. She psychologically is obsessed with him and is going to trap him, and it's going to come back to bite her in the ass. But worst of all, it's going to have a negative, lifelong effect on that baby. God willing, not the kind of effect she claims and lies to everybody about that her mother had on her.
Private. The irony is almost too much when you're spilling this level of tea to a national publication. But wait, there's more. Gypsy didn't just stop at the bedroom talk. She dredged up old grievances about Ryan's alleged controlling behavior, including his supposed obsession with hoarding food. According to Gypsy, the fridge fights got so bad they triggered past trauma, leaving her scared and questioning their relationship.
Ryan and I were busy filming for these 4 months, and it put a lot of stress, but the attention that social media and the public eye put on our marriage was a stress in itself. So to say that it didn't play any part would be a lie. Of course, any stress, added stress is difficult. It was not the straw that broke the camel's back, but it was added stress. I think that there is a sense of freedom of following your heart, following what you feel like is right for you. And in my marriage, I felt like a part of me was lost in it. And so I feel like I found that missing piece of myself that I always felt was, lost. And now reclaiming that back, I definitely feel a sense of belonging in that space. I did love Ryan. Ryan and I spent 3 years of a relationship together. It was just a different love than I have for Ken.
How the hell is this girl? How in the hell are you gonna do this man like that? You already drug him every chance you can, cheated on him, made him look like a complete fool. He's been nothing but respectful to you, and now you're gonna go and tell the whole freaking world that the D won't fire? I mean, we kind of figured it wasn't fire, okay? I mean, we kind of figured that. But did you really gotta tell everybody that? Like, haven't you hurt this man enough? You have to go say to the whole world, the D was not any fire. Maybe you're the fucking problem, Gypsy. I mean, you ruin everything you touch. You just wrong for this foul bitch.
While it's fair to share your truth, airing out every petty detail like it's a Netflix drama, yikes. Fans and critics alike are divided. Some say Gypsy's oversharing feels like a calculated move to tarnish Ryan's reputation now that he's out of her life. Others argue that her candidness, while brutal, might help her heal. But here's the thing, airing out private grievances, especially when you're painting someone as a villain, doesn't exactly scream growth or healing. Instead, it feels like an attempt to control the narrative, one that's backfiring spectacularly. Ryan, for his part, has stayed silent amid the storm. And honestly, that silence might speak louder than anything Gypsy has said. Fans are calling her out for taking things too far, with many pointing out the hypocrisy of her claiming to transition to privacy while putting her ex on blast. "This is not how a healed person behaves," one commenter wrote. Another added, "She's lost the little respect people had left for her." The real kicker? Gypsy seems to be doubling down, showing no remorse for her actions. While she's glowing about her future with Ken and their growing family, the shadow of her feud with Ryan looms large. Whether it's revenge or unresolved feelings, Gypsy's motives are clear. She wants to control the story, even if it means dragging her ex through the mud. Gypsy wasn't shy about gushing over Ryan back in the day, often defending him in public. Remember when she slid into his Instagram comments to clap back at trolls mocking his appearance? Her words were clear. "Don't listen to the haters, they're just jealous because you're rocking my world every night." She even went so far as to add, "Yeah, I said it, the D is fire."
Well, you know, can't bring me down. I'm on a high right now. I'm living my best life, and y'all can't take that from me.
And the D is
Fire!
No one asked for these TMI details, but she dished them anyway, painting Ryan as her ultimate dream guy. So what changed? Now that they're divorced, Gypsy's story has taken a 180. Suddenly, it's all not ideal and lacking attraction in that area. Is she rewriting history to hurt Ryan, or is there something else going on? Fans are calling this out as a blatant attempt to drag Ryan back into her messy world, especially since he's been keeping things classy and ignoring all the chaos she's been stirring up. Let's not forget how far Gypsy has gone to humiliate Ryan. She's exposed private messages, thrown subtle jabs, and now this? It seems like she's fishing for a reaction, but Ryan's been playing it cool, refusing to engage. And that's driving her wild. The court saga only adds more fuel to the fire. Gypsy was reportedly expecting Ryan to show up, hoping for a dramatic face-off. But plot twist, he didn't even bother attending. Instead, Ryan chose to settle everything out of court through his representatives, sending a clear message: he's done with her. And that, my loves, hit Gypsy hard. Sources at the courthouse describe Gypsy as anything but the picture of someone excited to leave her past behind. Despite claiming she was eager to move on from her marriage, she stepped out looking anything but relieved. In fact, she seemed downright upset, even lashing out at reporters snapping photos of her. Word on the street is that Gypsy went all out to look her best for court, complete with freshly styled hair she knew Ryan loved, only to realize he wasn't even there. Ouch.
She is reporting that they reached a settlement. Ryan's lawyer, Jeffrey Carrier, tells TMZ his client skipped the court appearance to save on those pricey attorney fees.
This wasn't just about finalizing a divorce. It was about Gypsy trying to hold on to the last shred of control she had over Ryan. Her outbursts at reporters and the noticeable tension in her demeanor screamed one thing: disappointment. Gypsy didn't just lose a marriage that day, she lost the ability to keep Ryan tethered to her drama. And if her recent behavior is any indication, she's not handling it well. So why is Gypsy still taking shots at Ryan if she's supposedly moved on? Could it be that she's not as over him as she claims? The constant jabs, the public digs, and even her reaction to his absence in court paint a picture of someone who hasn't quite let go. Fans are now questioning whether Gypsy's narrative is less about Ryan's shortcomings and more about her struggle to accept the end of their relationship. And let's be real, Ryan's decision to skip court was a power move. It sent a loud and clear message: he's done playing into her games. His representative stated that settling out of court was the best way to avoid unnecessary drama, and honestly, it worked. Gypsy's out here flailing for relevance in Ryan's life, while he's off living his best one without her. The question now is, what's Gypsy's endgame? Is she trying to save face, or is she clinging to a narrative that keeps Ryan in her orbit? One thing's for sure, her attempts to bait him are falling flat, and the public isn't buying the victim card she's trying to play. So loves, what do you think? Is Gypsy genuinely over Ryan, or is this just another chapter in her revenge saga? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because this tea is far from cooling down. And speaking of messy exes, have you heard about the drama brewing with Austin and Catherine McBroom? Click here for the full scoop. You won't want to miss this one. Hold on to your seats because the Gypsy Rose saga is taking another wild twist, and the tea just keeps spilling. Fresh off her interview with People magazine, Gypsy is making waves with claims that are as messy as ever, and honestly, we can't look away. It seems like reality hit her hard after Ryan's epic no-show at court, forcing her to double down on public humiliation tactics. She even told People that she was ready to have a civil conversation for closure, but Ryan didn't bite. Instead, he waived his right to attend, leaving Gypsy waiting for a response that might never come. If you ask us, it's Gypsy who still needs closure, not Ryan. Meanwhile, Ryan seems to be thriving, steering clear of the chaos and, wait for it, getting cozy with social media personality Amber J. Yup, you heard that right. Amber's been a solid presence in Ryan's healing journey, and the internet is absolutely shipping these two. Amber's been following Ryan's story closely, and the chemistry is undeniable. Ryan, on his end, can't seem to end a live stream without giving Amber a shout-out, and fans are already rooting for this potential power couple. Could they make it official? Only time will tell, but the sparks are hard to ignore. Now, let's not forget the time Ryan appeared in a viral video dancing and having the time of his life with some ladies. Yes, there was even a playful smack involved. Gypsy, of course, wasted no time jumping on a live session, calling out Ryan for being disrespectful to her and her child, claiming they were still technically married. Talk about jealous ex vibes. It's clear Gypsy isn't over Ryan, despite her attempts to convince the world otherwise. And then there's Ken. Oh, Ken! Gypsy's current beau seems to be making more cameo appearances in her life than anything else. Sure, he's there for the big moments, baby showers, Thanksgiving in Florida, but when it comes to public support for Gypsy's ventures, like promoting her book, Ken is MIA. Gypsy even spilled the tea herself during an interview, saying her support system includes her mom, Christy Blanchard, but noticeably leaving Ken out of the equation. Ouch! If that wasn't telling enough, fans have noticed Ken's body language in recent photos with Gypsy. Let's just say he's not exactly radiating happiness. His smiles look forced, his energy screams, "Get me out of here," and insiders claim he's been distancing himself for a while now. Even beauty influencer Nina hinted that their split could be a storyline on Life After Lockup. Are we gearing up for another breakup bombshell? At this point, we wouldn't be surprised. Back to Gypsy and Ryan, because let's face it, this feud isn't cooling down anytime soon. Gypsy's constant digs at Ryan, from shaming his private life to airing their dirty laundry, seem like desperate attempts to keep him in her orbit. Why else would she act so unsatisfied after finally getting the divorce she claimed she wanted? Fans are speculating that Gypsy didn't really want to cut ties with Ryan and might even regret filing for divorce. Her over-the-top behavior looks like an attempt to provoke a reaction from him. But Ryan's refusal to engage is the ultimate mic drop. So, what's next for these two? Will Ryan and Amber J take their connection to the next level? Will Gypsy's antics escalate further? And what about Ken? Will he officially peace out of this whirlwind romance? One thing's for sure, this drama isn't over, and we're here for every messy second. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned for more sizzling celebrity gossip.